The brand new movie Father Stu, about a boxer-turned-priest starring Mark Wahlberg and Mel Gibson, has just hit theaters for Holy Week. Our own Raymond Arroyo sat down with the stars for an exclusive interview, along with director Rosalind Ross. Now, Gibson and Wahlberg explain how their own friendship shaped the film, and they weigh in on a surprising Hollywood fashion trend. Here's part 2 of our interview.
Mel, I know Mark told me last time when he was getting into this process of investing his own cash into a passion project, he called the maestro of this kind of deal. What did you advise him at the time?
I said, be careful, but hey, it's a good idea. It could go anyway. There's no predicting where you'll end up. But I think he pulled the right rein in this case. You know?
You've been working on this for years, trying to get this project made. Would you have done it another way? Sold the rights to somebody else and let them do it?
Well, that was never really an option. I would have done it another way, but I think that everything happens for a reason, and getting Rosie to take a crack at the script and then give her her first opportunity to direct was the absolute perfect way to make the movie. Even my idea of getting Sony to release the movie, having Josh been, the head of distribution, and having released The Fighter and movies that I felt were kind of similar in tone, it all kind of came together.
I want to talk about this relationship, and Rosie, you can jump into this. Mel and Mark famously did Daddy's Home 2 before, where he played your father. What was that experience like? And I'll start with you. Why did you want him to play your dad in this movie? A very different daddy, I might add.
Well, he, who better for the part, I think, to really kind of understand the subject matter, what we were trying to accomplish tonally, all that stuff. But the first time around, we just had so much fun. And then we were talking about making something else that he was going to direct that she had already written.
The World War II epic.
Yes, yeah, Destroyer. So we were kind of talking about that, and I was still kind of trying to push this uphill. And then I came back to them, and then here we are.
Why did you want to play this dad, Mel? This is a bit, he's very understated. He is not the kind of over-the-top, throwing it to the wind daddy that you played in the free.
No, and he's a very deep guy, but, a guy from Montana, not overly demonstrative, but very still waters run deep kind of thing. And Rosie wrote an excellent character.
You met Bill Long.
I've met him on the phone. I've only spoken to him on the phone.
And I'm sure the weight of having that real person look at your performance, it does have to weigh on you a little bit.
Sure it does. You approach it with trepidation. You're representing someone, and it isn't exactly, the film doesn't represent exactly who he was.
He was thrilled at the idea of Mel playing him in the movie. He really got a chuckle out of that. And I remember him just kind of laughing at stuff that I thought he might be upset about.
Well, the brilliant contribution as an audience member watching it, I thought, was it plays like a comedy for the first half of this movie. It kind of takes everybody by surprise.
Yeah.
That was deliberate.
Yes, absolutely. But I took my cue tonally from the real guy, from Stu. He was an edgy guy, and he had rough sort of life experience, and he was able to talk to people, in a very relatable way.
Here's the real question. How did you direct these two guys? And what did you learn from the experience?
She pushed us around.
Well, he's easy because I do it at home. No, no, look, both of them are such dedicated, prepared, but mostly instinctive actors, and they're so nuanced. And I think, it's no secret that both of them bring a level of personal experience to their respective roles that inevitably helps.
Mark, there were some reports that you talked to Mel and got his advice on the use of that violence and how to use it. Is that true? Did that happen? I think going to get permission from him about violence is like going to Paula Deen to ask for more butter. That was my first thought. But
we didn't talk about that. No, we just always felt like the language and just kind of making it as realistic and truthful as possible. And I've seen tons of faith-based movies. I was kind of getting pushed in that direction, and I don't know, they all don't kind of seem to move the needle with anybody else unless they've already kind of converted. So we just felt like we needed to do something that was edgy and real.
And not what you deserve either. Life's gonna give you a gut full of reasons to be angry. You only need one to be grateful.
Okay, I have to get your reaction to a few contemporary stories before I let you go. there is a trend among men in your industry. Oscar Isaac, Harry Styles, wearing skirts in public to career. Now, I know you've worn kilts.
I've done that, yeah.
But
I killed it.
is that a fashion choice you could embrace?
It might not necessarily be. I've dressed up in my sister's tutus and ballerina costumes for
That was
Halloween.
a long time ago.
Well, whatever you're into.
Okay.
Certainly no
So you're going to
problem.
dust off the old William Wallace outfit and...
Yeah, I might skirt that issue. But,
Rose, this came out of your pen, your heart and mind initially. What do you want audiences to focus on?
I think it's subtle but very powerful is the message that everyone is capable of changing and overcoming the darkest parts of themselves to become a better version of themselves.
Yeah. Mel, I'll end with you.
at the end of the day, you have no control over the things around you, but you do have control about how you handle it, how it hits you, and how you behave and comport yourself in the midst of chaos, perhaps. So it's a good lesson.
I love it. Raymond, thank you. We'll see you tomorrow night.